A drone captures an amazing Bigfoot sighting, ghosts in the campsite, extraordinary footage of an unknown cryptid, and other creepy findings in the wild. These are just a few of the things we will look at. Stick to the end. In the following footage, a remote control drone is taken out for a spin in Salt Fork State Park, Ohio. As the pilot takes it out on a test run practicing its hovering capabilities, he unintentionally captures footage of a large, dark figure lurking amongst the trees. Pay attention to the left side of the screen. The footage is easily missed. It looks like a large black dot. But watch as the video is enhanced with a spotlight. The figure becomes unmistakably clear. The drone is eventually lowered to the ground, and the unsuspecting pilot comes to claim it was completely unaware that only a few feet away this hulking creature is standing, more than likely aware of him, listening to him, watching him.
His spectator, he's not standing that far away. Not far enough for me.
What do you think? Is this footage authentic? A bright and warm summer day. This poster is enjoying time out in nature, but they are not the only ones soaking up the sunshine. Watch what becomes visible when they spot a shape in the distance. Zooming in with the full capacity of the phone camera, a familiar figure is recorded resting against a tree. Recognize the ape-like features, the color of its fur. Imagine its size if this video was filmed and zoomed in from some distance. Imagine you're hiking through the woods with your dog. Suddenly you become aware that you are not alone. Just beyond, in a clearing through the trees, you spot a large, dark shape resting on a tree stump. In this footage, the poster appears to capture something large, black, and covered in fur. The quality of the video is poor, but a shape is visible, as are its movements for a fraction of a second. Beyond this, it's anyone's guess whether it's Bigfoot or a bear.
He's moving, he's moving, he's moving. Daisy, come here. Daisy, come here.
All we have to go on is the conviction of the poster's claim and the rising fear in his voice as he calls out to his dog. Not all First Nation beliefs around Sasquatch are favorable. Whilst some believe that sightings of Bigfoot bring good luck, members of the Plateau tribes identify Bigfoot as a stick Indian, drawing from a diverse range of potentially hostile beings who stole salmon or confused people by whistling, causing them to get lost. Here, a poster zooms in on a figure spotted in the woods. The large Neanderthal-like creature is studying something intently in the branches of the tree, unaware that it's being filmed. It has been suggested that it is stalking something. Is this an ape filmed from a deceptive angle that makes it look far larger than it is? Or is it a Sasquatch? You be the judge. Depending on who you ask, the thylacine, or Tasmanian tiger, as it is more commonly known, has been extinct for decades, or just really good at hiding. This sighting captured in Clifton Springs, Australia in 2019 claims to be the real deal. Resembling something closer to a wolf than a tiger with distinct dark stripes on its back and tail, the thylacine was hunted to extinction by European settlers who held unwarranted fears that the carnivorous marsupials would attack their livestock. The last known Tasmanian tiger was given to the Hobart Zoo in Tasmania in 1931, and it died in captivity in 1936. More recently, cryptozoologists, hikers, and hunters have claimed to have spotted the animal, but a study conducted by scientists based on sightings suggests that they got it wrong. Some are adamant that the species are not extinct. The animal caught on camera here seems to represent a compelling argument. It does resemble a wolf, and the stripes are visible on its tail. Unfortunately, it might just be too far away to be considered conclusive. Our hopes are that scientific study did get it wrong, and that the species has managed to survive in some remote part of Tasmania, far away from human interference and harm. This footage terrified me the first time I saw it. A creature that looks like a combination of a woman with some kind of feline animal. But what I then thought upon seeing this is that it looks similar to the legendary mythical creature known as succubus, which is a kind of demon that appears in a female form, or supernatural entity in folklore, traced back to medieval legend. It is said to appear in dreams, and takes the form of a woman in order to seduce men, usually through sexual activity. I am pretty sure this footage is fake, as I am not exactly sure how anyone would be able to survive such an encounter, if they do indeed exist in the first place. What do you think of this footage? The following video, shot in Fort Wilkins Historic State Park, claims to have captured a Sasquatch on camera. In the video, the large, furry humanoid creature is clearly seen walking through the forest. At some point, realizing it has been spotted, it stops and takes cover, blending into the environment. This is by far some of the closest and clearest footage we've seen in a while, and perhaps we've been conditioned to be skeptical of this kind of footage. Again, compare how this Sasquatch moves and the awkward way it peers through the branches. Is it just me, or is it walking like it's got a bad back? The peering through the bush also feels staged. Sasquatch or hoax? Picture this. You've just moved into a new place. Your first taste of independence. The only problem is that since you moved in, your dog won't stop yelping and clawing at the entrance hall closet. At night, he refuses to come up the stairs. You've also started hearing things. Sometimes a door will creak open, or just as you're falling asleep, the sound of footsteps coming up the stairs. This is exactly what this guy was experiencing in his new house. For these reasons, he decided to set up cameras to see if anything comes up. He sets one in the kitchen and proceeds to climb the steps towards his room. But just as he does this, something behind follows him upstairs. We can even see that this shadow figure has some sort of legs. Is it a ghost that is trapped in the house, or is it something more malevolent lurking there? Avoid creepy, abandoned buildings. They always attract the worst kinds of things. The poster of this video claims he got a Skinwalker on camera. He went to explore an abandoned warehouse, but he started hearing things from a room. Rather than going in, he saw a window that allowed him to catch a glimpse of this. A humanoid figure seen standing almost motionless in the room. It does resemble some kind of zombie-like trance. Could this be a Skinwalker, or is it a fake video set up by someone trying to grab some attention? Remember the sheer joy that came with renting a movie, going to the store and browsing the shelves for something new to watch, hoping that whatever you chose was actually available and not already checked out. The guy in this security camera footage might not be as nostalgic. Watch what happens as he does the rounds packing the DVDs back on their shelves. It seems a playful poltergeist doesn't care that the store is closed and is pretty adamant they're going to check out something tonight. A surprising encounter occurs in St. Mary's, Idaho. The poster, out on an evening walk, startles a skittish fawn who, uncertain of what to do, makes a run back into the brush. What is surprising is what emerges from the bushes moments later. A large doe with a visibly twisted neck. She has obviously been drawn out of hiding to check up on the fawn. It is a miracle that the deer has managed to survive and give birth in her condition. The Department of Fish and Game are aware of the deer and say that it has been in the area for a number of years. Biologists think that the deer's neck was broken in an accident, but was not fully severed, and it has somehow managed to beat the odds, even with a broken spine. Others are not convinced by this explanation and suspect something more sinister, suggesting that the doe is a skinwalker that has shapeshifted into this peculiar form. Whatever you believe, it is an alarming and unusual sight and has led to locals christening her crooked-necked deer. A TikTok poster shares a video of what they claim is a moose being stalked by what appears to be more than one Bigfoot. It's difficult to verify the Bigfoot claims in this instance. It's dark outside, and all that is visible from between the trees are two sets of eyes. It is possible these could belong to other moose. But as they move, no trace of an antler or ears is visible. It's definitely creepy, as one needs to remember that moose are large and very aggressive animals that can weigh up to 1,500 pounds with few predators apart from humans. So if something is hunting them in those woods, it's got to be strong and big to stand a chance. A family picked the wrong place to camp when they spotted numerous eerie apparitions on camera. Facing a nearby wood, they witness a host of ghostly shadows moving between the trees. At first, there only appears to be one, but the number quickly grows as the pale shadows shift. One appears suspended above the branches. The quality of the video is poor, but the presence of something haunting is clear. Did something terrible happen on this land that it is populated by so many spirits? Oftentimes, camping grounds can be notorious for being old battle sites or awash with unmarked graves. People who have visited such places claim to hear the sounds of men shouting, cannons and gunshots, and the sound of the military man drums. It isn't clear from the video whether the family decided to brave it and stay the night or make a quick getaway. A curious buck spots the camera on its nighttime prowl. With utter stealth, he quietly moves across the field of vision and continues to eat unperturbed. Had he suspected danger, he would have released a series of loud bellows to warn any others to be on the lookout. 2 mysterious skeletons are discovered on a beach in Great Yarmouth, Norfolk. One is slightly larger than the other. What is unusual about them is that both seem to have tails like a fish. Are these mermaids, or some convoluted hoax? This isn't the first time these skeletons have washed ashore. In the last 3 years, strange skeletons have appeared on a beach in the UK and in Australia. These skeletons were even longer, approximately 6 foot in length. It is unclear from the video the actual size of the skeletons, which are in a grim state of decomposition. The one skeleton is in pretty bad shape and missing a few ribs. This is possibly due to being flung up against rocks, or it was the cause of death when this creature was still living. Some skeptics suggest that they are the remains of seals, but the skulls look remarkably human. Do mermaids exist? What do you think? A man comes running from the dark road ahead and is illuminated in the car's headlights where the person is filming. He appears to be afraid and excited at something he has spotted further on up the dirt track. The car, undeterred, continues to advance. A strange alien-like creature is seen shuffling across the road. The car stops some distance from it, while the man we encountered earlier returns for a closer look. It looks unlike anything we have seen before, almost like some kind of crab with short tentacles instead of claws. Is it some horrible fault of nature? It's difficult to tell from such a distance, which is a possible indication that it's a fake. The person filming seems extremely calm and quiet, and the feel of the video does seem to be staged with the arrival of the man in the beginning. Surely, they could have gotten a little closer, or at least zoomed in. This big boy has nothing to worry about come winter. His body will have plenty of reserves to keep him going. Most bears appear big and fat, but that is still not a reason to think you can outrun them. They are often pure muscle and faster than one would expect. However, obese bears like this one are becoming a little more common as they have discovered human food and started to raid homes, campsites, and dumpsters instead of hunting. Who can blame them when the food is so accessible? And it requires a lot less effort than running and hunting. Sadly, this also puts a target on their heads because they pose a threat to humans and have lost all fear of us. They will continue to get more brazen in their pursuit of food, some even breaking fences to get inside. American black bears are the most common bears in North America and are generally smaller and less aggressive than their grizzly cousins. The use of paintball guns to scare them away have been some of the non-lethal measures applied. But sadly, the lure of human food is just too great. A poster captures this alarming sight on a hike in the woods. A deer displays uncharacteristic behavior, turning in circles. A couple of centuries ago, a sighting like this would warrant claims of possession or witchcraft. There are a few possibilities, but it seems that it's something worse. The animal is afflicted with an illness that impacts deer, elk, reindeer, and moose known as chronic wasting disease. An abnormal protein attacks the brain, causing holes and lesions. This results in the animal's brain becoming like a sponge and leads to chronic weight loss, stumbling, and confused behavior. There is no cure. The disease has a fairly long dormancy, and so by the time the animal starts to show these symptoms, death is imminent. A trail camera captures these bear cubs having a great time exploring with their mother. She is teaching them all about how to hunt and exist in the wild. One cub has mastered the art of lifting rocks in search of tasty insects or larvae that live underneath them. He even enjoys a quick lick of one before running off to join his family. Black bears usually birth 2 cubs. The cubs will stay with their mother for about 17 months before they are forced to stop traveling with her and fend for themselves. For now, these mischievous babies are having a wonderful time in their natural habitat and the protection of their mother. This time, a concerned or annoyed mother wildcat appears, calling urgently into the darkness. No sooner has she finished calling when 3 adorable youngsters come bounding out of the bushes, heeding their mother's call. No doubt, she is schooling her offspring on how to survive in the wild. Through watching and mimicking her behavior, they will learn how to fend for themselves. It is evident that she has sensed danger, and her quick alert and the pace at which they run off has spared them harm. Any idea what species of cat this is? Post in the comments. If you want to see more interesting footage, then watch this.